For the first time in over 60 years, fragments of a biblical book have been discovered. The lost book of Adam and Eve has resurfaced, revealing surprising insights. Join us on a fascinating journey where the timeless tale of Adam and Eve takes on captivating new dimensions. Imagine stumbling upon a long-lost manuscript that unveils a fresh perspective on their post-Eden odyssey. This captivating video offers a glimpse into their struggles to reconnect with the divine, unraveling profound truths about human nature and the mysteries of creation. Prepare to be intrigued as these revelations challenge conventional beliefs, inviting us to rethink our understanding of ancient narratives. Join us as we explore the pages of this newfound gem, the Book of Adam and Eve, and witness how it reshapes our perception of the world. In 1926, amidst the excavation of King Tutankhamun's tomb in Egypt, a remarkable find emerged, a manuscript believed to recount the story of Adam and Eve titled The Conflict of Adam and Eve with Satan. This extraordinary text delves into their journey post-expulsion from Eden, introducing familiar characters from humanity's dawn. While not part of the canonical scriptures, it presents an intriguing alternative narrative, offering fresh insights into their timeless saga, separate from the established accounts found in the Bible and Quran. The true origins of the Book of Adam and Eve remain shrouded in mystery, with scholars speculating it could date back centuries before Christ. While the identity of its author remains elusive, some theories suggest it may have been crafted by an ancient Egyptian writer, possibly originating in Arabic. Despite its obscure beginnings, this text's influence transcended language barriers, with translations extending its reach into Ethiopian culture and beyond. Beyond its narrative, the Book of Adam and Eve holds profound significance. Interestingly, echoes of its themes can be found in both the Jewish Talmud and the Islamic Quran, hinting at its potential role in shaping early religious thought. Despite not being included in the canon of major religious texts, the presence of these shared concepts underscores the enduring impact this book may have had on shaping humanity's understanding of its origins. Attributed to an anonymous Egyptian scribe who penned the tale in Arabic, the Book of Adam and Eve eventually found its way into Ethiopian literature through translation. However, determining its exact age presents a challenge, with conventional wisdom placing its composition several centuries before Christ. The first English translation surfaced in the 19th century, revealing glimpses of its narrative embedded in the Talmudic and Quranic traditions, cementing its importance in the annals of early human literature. A captivating revelation about this mysterious text is its division into 2 volumes, the Book of Adam and Eve. The first volume delves into the compelling narrative of Adam and Eve's expulsion from Eden, detailing their encounters with Satan's temptations. The second volume unfolds the saga of Seth and the turbulent clans descended from Cain before the Great Flood. Interestingly, the text suggests that Cain and Abel had twin sisters. Cain, enamored with his twin sister Luluwa, faces familial expectations that lead to Abel's tragic death. The text vividly describes the earth's reaction to Abel's blood and Cain's futile attempts to hide his crime, culminating in Adam and Eve tenderly caring for Abel's remains in their cave for 7 years. Additionally, the Book of Adam and Eve diverges from the traditional biblical narrative by indicating that both Cain and Abel made offerings of blood and grain. This challenges the account in Genesis 4:3-4, where only Cain's offering of produce and Abel's offering of the finest portions from his flock are mentioned. This discrepancy adds complexity to the post-Eden narrative, revealing a detailed account of Adam and Eve's journey as they navigate a new beginning within the Cave of Treasures. After leaving the Garden of Eden, the gates sealed behind them and guarded by an angel with fiery weapons, Adam and Eve journeyed across rugged terrain. They found refuge in a cave on a high hill, living on a humble diet of cooked grains, foraged vegetables and sparse herbs, a stark contrast to the abundance of Eden. Entering the cave with sorrow, Adam mourned the loss of their former paradise, likening the cave to a prison. Despite the cave's protection, it could not compare to their divine sanctuary filled with celestial beings. In the cave, Adam and Eve had children: Cain, Abel, Lebuda, and Kalima. Reflecting on the irreversible change brought by their departure from Eden, Adam sanctified the cave as a sacred space for prayer, naming it Magus, or the Cave of Treasures. He imbued it with the legacy of their journey and the hopes for their descendants. Adam's journey showcases God's profound mercy towards his creation, even amidst punishment for transgression. As Adam and Eve left the sanctuary of the garden, burdened by uncertainty and fear, God's reassuring words reached them, infusing them with strength and resolve. Despite the desolate and unfamiliar landscape devoid of the verdant beauty they once knew, God's comforting presence uplifted their spirits. Confronted by the stark contrast of their new surroundings and the altered appearance of the tree of knowledge, Adam and Eve trembled with apprehension at the sight of the angelic guardian with a flaming sword. Fear gripped their hearts as they anticipated divine retribution. Yet the angel, moved by compassion, interceded on their behalf, pleading for God's kindness. In his infinite compassion, God saw their distress and offered words of solace, lifting them from fear and despair. He reassured them of his enduring plan for Adam and his descendants, promising a future shaped by his divine will despite the trials ahead. God's unwavering promise served as a beacon of hope, guiding Adam and Eve through the uncertainty of their journey on earth until the fulfillment of his divine plan. God's promise to Adam reveals his profound mercy and compassion for humanity. He assures Adam that the same word that created him, the word against whom he transgressed and was commanded out of the garden, would also be the one to raise him up when he fell and ultimately save him. Initially, Adam is puzzled by the mention of 5.5 days, fearing the imminent end of the world. Yet God, in his boundless mercy, elucidates the meaning, explaining that these days symbolize 5,500 years during which the Word would come to redeem Adam and his descendants. In this act of mercy, God reaffirms Adam's significance as a being created in his own image and likeness. He exhorts Adam to fortify his heart and remain steadfast within the sanctuary of the Cave of Treasures, where he would find solace and protection. Upon receiving this comforting revelation from God, Adam's spirit is uplifted, reassured by the promise of salvation and the divine plan for his redemption. Through this exchange, God demonstrates his unwavering commitment to guide and save his beloved creation, exemplifying his boundless love and compassion for humanity. The symbolism surrounding the Cave of Treasures as a place of penance for Adam and Eve's wrongdoing contrasts with Adam's preference for the expansive sea in the creation narrative. The vast crystal sea borders the Garden of Eden, strategically positioned to greet the rising sun. Beyond its shimmering expanse lies an endless stretch of water enveloping the earth and stretching towards the heavens. To the north of the garden lies a remarkable sea, renowned for its unparalleled purity and clarity. Legends speak of its pristine waters so transparent that one can peer into the very depths of the earth. Metaphorically, bathing in these crystalline waters signifies a profound purification capable of transforming even the darkest souls into purity itself. It is believed that God, in his boundless goodwill, crafted this sea with humanity's future in mind. After humanity's expulsion from Eden, souls would be born on earth. Among them would be righteous individuals whose spirits God would resurrect on the final day. the sea holds great significance in humanity's eventual redemption. When souls return to their earthly bodies, they will bathe in the sea's cleansing waters, absolving themselves of sin and paving the way for spiritual renewal and reconciliation. Thus, the sea symbolizes the divine promise of redemption and God's enduring mercy, offering hope for humanity's return to grace and purity. God's decision to banish Adam from the garden, strategically placing him away from the northern border where the sea of cleansing lay, reveals his wisdom and foresight. By keeping Adam and Eve distant from the tempting waters, God prevented them from washing away their sins and escaping the constant reminder of their transgressions. Instead of placing Adam on the southern edge, which offered the soothing fragrance of the garden's trees and risked distraction from remorseful reflection, God directed him to dwell on the vast western border of the garden. Here, beneath the garden's expanse, lay the cave of treasures, serving as a constant reminder of Adam's choices and their consequences. Though redemption through divine assistance was promised, God's mercy came with a stipulated time frame, imposing upon Adam and Eve the weight of their loss compared to their former life in the garden. In this nuanced narrative, God's guidance reflects both his compassion and his insistence on accountability. While offering comfort and hope for the future, he ensures that Adam and Eve remain aware of the gravity of their actions and the journey toward redemption that lies ahead. The profound consequences of Adam and Eve's expulsion from the garden extend beyond their immediate circumstances, shaping the very essence of humanity and its spiritual journey. Central to this transformation is the concept of the bright nature within humans, representing their purest, highest, and most divine essence. Often referred to as the true self, the higher self, or the soul, this aspect is eternal, transcending the confines of our physical bodies and detached from worldly desires and attachments. The bright nature is the eternal divine part of the human being, in constant communion with God and untouched by the illusions of the material world. Through practices like meditation, prayer, and inner reflection, individuals can nurture their spiritual side, fostering a deeper connection with their true essence and the divine. By aligning with their inner light, people can transcend the limitations of earthly existence, tapping into boundless wisdom, love, and compassion. The story of Adam and Eve serves as a timeless allegory for the soul's journey, highlighting the quest for spiritual awakening and reunion with the divine. Despite challenges and trials, the eternal light within humans offers hope and guidance, inspiring them to seek truth, cultivate virtue, and strive for union with the divine. Adam and Eve's transgression led to the loss of their bright nature, plunging them into profound sorrow and realization. Once able to perceive distant things and commune intimately with God, they now felt bereft of this divine connection. The cave's rock overhead symbolized their obstruction from the heavens, reinforcing their separation from the divine realm. God gently reminded Adam that their former obedience allowed them to possess this bright nature, granting them the ability to see beyond the physical realm. Their disobedience resulted in its loss, confining their perception to physical senses. Despite this, Adam and Eve remained steadfast in their faith, worshipping and praising God even as direct communication ceased. Strengthened by their unwavering belief in God's providence, they appealed for mercy, particularly for protection from the now feared beasts. Adam, once tasked with naming the creatures in the Garden of Eden, now sought divine protection from their potential harm. Reflecting on his past interactions with the beasts, Adam recognized the consequences of his disobedience, understanding that they were now cursed to turn against him and his descendants. In desperation, Adam and Eve cried out to God, beseeching him to shield them from these once submissive creatures. Their plea for protection echoed their vulnerability and displacement as they faced the harsh realities of life outside the garden. Despite their fall from grace, Adam and Eve hoped that God in his mercy would provide refuge and safeguard them from the world's dangers. Hearing Adam's words, God took pity on him, acknowledging the truth in his fear that the beasts would rise against them due to their transgressions. God, in his anger towards Adam and Eve, cursed the beasts. Yet, in his mercy, he reminded Adam of his covenant, assuring him that he would not forsake it. However, he also made it clear that Adam could not return to the garden until the appointed time of the great 5 and 2 days had passed. God then commanded all the beasts, birds, and creatures of the earth to approach Adam and become familiar with him, instructing them not to harm him, Eve, or any of their righteous descendants. Following God's decree, all creatures paid homage to Adam, except for the serpent, which angered God by disobeying. This tale reflects our modern world, where humans share intricate relationships with domestic and wild animals. Despite this, humans maintain authority over animals, particularly wild ones, evident in global efforts for their care and conservation in zoos. While humans receive God's mercy and compassion, Adam and Eve's tragic decision to end their lives serves as a poignant reminder of the consequences of their actions. One sorrowful day, Adam and Eve emerged from the cave of treasures and stood before the garden gate, longing for the paradise they once called home. Unable to enter, they turned to the southern side, where they discovered the life-giving water that once sustained Eden, flowing from beneath the tree of life. This water, as described in Genesis, divides into 4 rivers, the Tigris, Euphrates, Pishon, and Gihon, symbolizing a spiritual energy connecting all creation to the divine. Approaching the source beneath the tree of life, Adam was weighed down with grief. Overcome, he lamented and blamed Eve for the curses and hardships they and their descendants endured. Eve, startled, sought to understand his distress. Adam explained how they had once taken the water for granted in the garden, now exiled and recognizing its true value and ability to sustain them. As Eve absorbed Adam's sorrow, tears filled her eyes, mirroring his grief. Consumed by emotion and the bitterness of their circumstances, Adam and Eve made a desperate decision. Driven by despair, they resolved to end their lives by plunging into the water, seeking to escape reminders of their loss and suffering. This part of the story might appear puzzling, depicting an extreme reaction to their despair. One might question whether their fate truly ended in the water. Contrary to expectations, their apparent demise served an unexpected purpose for their mortal bodies. As Adam and Eve hovered near death, submerged in water, God, in his infinite mercy and grace, looked upon them and sent an angel to their rescue. With divine intervention, the angel lifted them from the depths and carried them to safety on the shore, where they lay motionless, as if lifeless. Informing God of their condition, the angel announced the apparent passing of his creations. Yet, demonstrating divine power, God's word breathed life back into Adam and Eve, resurrecting them from the brink of death. This event stands as a testament to God's unwavering faithfulness and his commitment to his promises, regardless of circumstances. Upon awakening, Adam recounted to God their lack of understanding about the importance of water while in the garden. It was only after leaving Eden and arriving in unfamiliar lands that they realized their desperate need for it. In response, God explained to Adam that while they were under his command and adorned with bright, angelic forms, they had not recognized the significance of water. Now, outside the garden in their mortal state, water became essential for their sustenance and growth, akin to the beasts of the earth. Struggling with thirst, heat, and sorrow, Adam and Eve faced a critical choice. Despite their dire need, Adam chose not to drink the water, fearing it would worsen their punishment and that of their descendants. Together in their decision, they turned away from the water, seeking refuge in the safety of the cave of treasures. Inside the cavern, Adam's sorrow weighed heavily upon him, leading him to despair on the ground. As darkness filled the cave, Eve, unable to witness Adam's anguish, hurried to his side. Despite her efforts, she felt powerless to ease his suffering. Overwhelmed by helplessness and sorrow, Eve could only listen to Adam's cries, unable to see him in the enveloping darkness. In this poignant moment of human frailty and despair, Adam and Eve confronted the harsh realities of their existence outside the garden, their hearts burdened by their transgressions and the ensuing consequences. Once again, Adam and Eve found themselves in a moment of dire need, surrounded by darkness and uncertainty, but God's infinite mercy shone through. As Adam lay still and Eve speechless with fear, God's compassionate voice reached them, reviving Adam and restoring Eve's ability to speak. The stark contrast between the perpetual light of Eden, where clarity reigned supreme, and the unfamiliar darkness of their current surroundings became painfully evident. In the garden, their luminous nature fostered deep connection, allowing them to see each other clearly. Yet in the cave, despite their proximity, darkness obscured their view, preventing them from perceiving each other. In Eden, obedience illuminated their path, their radiant nature harmonizing with divine will. However, disobedience led to the loss of this light, plunging them into darkness. Yet even then, God's mercy prevented total obscurity, clothing Adam in a mortal body capable of enduring the world's challenges. God comforted Adam, promising that darkness would yield to light after 12 hours, ensuring the return of daylight and the resumption of their journey. This assurance spoke volumes of God's enduring love and mercy, guiding Adam and Eve through mortal trials and offering hope for new beginnings. God's words to Adam conveyed timeless wisdom, reassuring him that darkness was not punishment, but part of a divine order. Day and night alternated in a rhythmic cycle, symbolizing life's ebb and flow. This arrangement allowed humans to work by day and rest by night, while animals found sustenance under cover of darkness. The covenant between God and Adam persists through the ages, evidenced by the unchanging rhythm of 12 hours of light and 12 hours of darkness. As promised, daylight unfailingly follows darkness, symbolizing hope and renewal in adversity. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey. Your thoughts are invaluable, so please share them below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content exploring human understanding and spiritual enlightenment on our YouTube channel.